Hey, sports porchers, it's your hockey Jesus, and I'm back with analysis of the Pittsburgh Penguins versus the Utah Mammoth in a Sunday afternoon matinee. Well, people of Pittsburgh, hockey fans everywhere, I'm your hockey Jesus, and not even a miracle could save this Pittsburgh Penguins team right now. The Pittsburgh Penguins follow up a 5-1 meltdown against San Jose. I said, let's get just back into it. And they managed to somehow lose a 3-0 lead going into the third period tonight and lose again. That's right, they lose. This time they make it to overtime again, but they lose 5-4 to the Utah Mammoth. Oh, my goodness. I'm still having PTSD from yesterday's game. Sorry about yesterday's. I had the Christmas tree in the background. I'm in my studio now. I feel much better in front of the microphone, celebrating my dad's 80th birthday. So happy birthday to my father. Well-deserved. We had a nice party for him today. And I was really hoping the Pittsburgh Penguins could follow it up with a win. And you know what? I'm out there shoveling snow. We get 6 to 8 inches of snow out there. I'm shoveling snow on the sidewalk. I'm listening to Ben Kindle score the third goal, and I'm thinking, this is great. Penguins are finally going to get off the slide. And, I come in. It's the third period. I sit down in front of my television. I swear to you, my television and my chair is cursed. I'm changing the chair for the next game, just so you know. I'm changing the chair for the next game. You got to do something to get out of this. But the Pittsburgh Penguins losing these leads. First, let's talk about this homestand. What a homestand these Pittsburgh Penguins are having. They start the homestand off by giving up a goal to Anaheim with 0.1 seconds left. That's right. That's how this homestand started. We should have known when it started, the homestand started like this, that it was going to be just like this. So what do? They followed up with the turd of the game, losing to Montreal. Just an absolute terrible, terrible game for the Penguins to play. And they come out and they're shellacking the heck out of the San Jose Sharks. 5-1 going in the third, and they absolutely melt down and they lose in overtime 6-5. I'm not going to rehash it. You watched it. You know what happened. And I say, let's just get back at it. They play again less than 24 hours later. Let's just get back on that horse. And immediately in the first period, they're given a gift goal, an absolute gift of a goal. They follow up another one, and 3-0 with the Kindle breakaway. And you're like, okay, it's the third period. I'm looking at the score 3-0, and I'm thinking to myself, can they possibly do this again? And sure enough, in the first couple minutes, the last thing you want to do is give up a goal in the first 2 minutes of the period. And that's what they did. And bing, bang, boom, 3 goals in less than 5 minutes. And before you know it, the Utah has the lead. And honestly, Utah was playing much better than them. I think the Penguins had something like 10 shots on goal going into the third, 3 goals on 10 shots. And Murashov was playing great. But when that momentum switches, and when Muse took that timeout, I'm thinking to myself, I don't know if it didn't work last time. I don't know how he thinks it's going to work this time. And I guess you got to do the coach's challenge on that one that gave him the lead. I'm sorry, the one that tied the game up, just to maybe slow things down a little bit. He was in the crease, absolutely, but he wasn't really interfering with the goalie, and Graves was kind of draped over him too. They're never going to call that interference. There's no way they're going to do that. But I get it. You have to try something. You have to try anything to do it, and it didn't work. They got the go-ahead goal. Thank God for Brazeau. Brazeau with the multiple goal game today. And Kindle had 3 points today. So there are some bright spots about what's going on. But anytime you lose 3-0, it's just absolutely, there's nothing good to take out of it. Nobody feels good about anything. Yeah, they got a loser point. I know. But the reality is nobody feels good about the way this homestand's going. What? They got 2 points. They got 2 points. Actually, they got 3 points. They got 3 points out of the 4 games they've played. Now, that's not good because everybody knows if you're scoring less than a point per game, you're not going to make the playoffs. And even if they made the playoffs at this point, it would be absolutely garbage because you would not feel comfortable about going into any period And MK's in the house. Good to see you, MK. Yeah, this is definitely actually. I think the Pirates have a better closer than the Pittsburgh Penguins do now in the third period. But we don't like to talk about the Pittsburgh Pirates on the show. We like to stick to some hockey. If you see the sign in the background there, it says Meltdown Part 5. And you might be thinking to yourself, well, this only happened twice. Well, because I'm a relative historian for the Pittsburgh Penguins, I had to go back and look at their season. They have actually done this 5 times this season already. And we should have raised the flags earlier on this, because this is not just okay, onesie twosie. They're just getting through some bad luck. Back in November, if you remember, on November 3rd, they play against Toronto. They had a 3-0 lead in the third period, and they lost that game 4-3. And then again on November 6th, almost back-to-back games, they played against the Capitals. Remember? I remember because I was at that game. They had a 3-0 lead in that game. It was 3-3. It went 4-3, and then they overturned a goal, and then the Penguins end up winning that game 5-3. So you're like, okay, well, that just meant that Toronto game was, not something that should have happened. Then again, in December, so this December, it's happened 3 times to them in December. December 4th, Tampa Bay Lightning, they had a 3-0 lead in the second period. Tampa Bay came all the way back, but Pittsburgh ended up winning that game 4-3. And that's the problem. When you come back and win, you forget about the problems that got you. You had a 3-goal lead. And then, of course, the San Jose game last night and then the Utah game today are the other two. This is the problem, I think, with the Pittsburgh Penguins. And this is absolutely a test for Dan Muse. He has to find a way to do something different. He has to change the narrative in the third period where they suddenly become flat-footed. Once that first goal is scored, they just stop, and they're just scared to make a play. They're scared to make a bad pass. Anytime you play scared out on the ice, even when you're playing scared in any freaking sport that you play, you're not going to play to your potential. You're not going to play to the speed of the puck. The other team has a distinct advantage. And let's face it, without Clayton Keller out there, Pittsburgh should have run all over Utah, and Keller's not going to play for them for a very long time. But this is what the Pittsburgh Penguins have to do. They have to get some leadership. Honestly, you know what? Leave Muse out of the room. Have Sid in that room. Have Rust in that room. And just read everybody the riot act and take blame for it if you're a leader of this team. Because this is absolutely unacceptable that this happens to a team that has some veteran presence that it does. Somebody needs to step up in that room. Somebody needs to shut the door and just let it loose. Let it loose. You can't do it. You can't be flat-footed. You can't be a hockey team if you're going to let this happen to you. And the only beef that I have with the fans there, do not boo. When you see it's happening, you got to cheer your lungs out. You got to say, come on, guys, we're behind you. We know you can do this. When you start booing, do you think that's going to help the Pittsburgh Penguins on the ice? When they hear the hometown crowd booing, they know they're playing like shit. You don't have to boo. That you need to cheer them on. I get it. You pay good money for your seats, and when you see crap, you want to boo it. If you're a real fan, get out of your seats, stand up loud, and start cheering as loudly as you can when that happens. You can turn the tide. Most of these games happen at home. And for the crowd to turn on the Penguins, that's just unacceptable to me as a Pittsburgh Penguins fan. And I just do not believe that is the way to handle these meltdowns that are going on. So they got to do it. They got to fix it on the ice. But if you're in the stands, do a better job. Be a better fan. Don't boo. That's easy. It's easy to boo a team when they're down. You should be up there loudly cheering, clapping them on, getting them going. And that's going to help. But the guys got to do it on the ice. I know fans don't play the game, but they can help change the momentum of a game. Absolutely. I've been at games. I've seen it happen. And that's the way you're going to help the Pittsburgh Penguins get out of this. But tonight, it's a loser, people. It's an absolute loser. The Pittsburgh Penguins, they lost. They're on a losing streak of monumental proportions. The Pittsburgh Penguins are on their first 5-game losing streak of the season. Yeah, they got a couple points in there, three points to be exact in this 5-game losing streak, but it's still a loser. Pittsburgh Penguins now stand 14-17 on the season with 37 points. I'm not even going to talk about the playoffs at this point because they are trending towards 98 points. Believe it or not, when they started this homestand, they were trending towards 102 points. So after the Anaheim game, they were at 98 points. So they're treading water right now. 98 points should get them a playoff spot, but they got to find a way to get out of this. This is not something that just, we can look at and say, it's just a couple games. This is a trend. And it's something they need to address. Murashov was great for the first 2 periods, ended up with an .865 save percentage. He looked fantastic when he was on, but even he had the flat feet and just couldn't make too many saves there at the end. And in overtime, I'm not even going to talk about the overtime. Sidney Crosby needs to get his overtime game together. And I know Kindle gave the puck up, but somebody's got to do something. Let's hope they can get back. Hey, Pittsburgh Penguins play again on Tuesday night, and our buddy Tristan Jarry will be in town, probably playing. Hopefully we'll have Skinner by then. They still got some immigration stuff to deal with, so Skinner and Kulak aren't on the team yet. And I was wrong in my analysis of that. They did actually sent down. The Graves is still continuing to play. It'll be interesting when Kulak does make the team what happens. And that's it for me. If you love what you hear, I'm the Hockey Jesus. I talk to you. I give you my guts after every single Pittsburgh Penguins game. I hope you love it. If you do, hey, smash that subscribe button. I'm here after every game. I will be here after the Tuesday game, whether it's a Christmas tree behind me, my bobbleheads, or it's a great day for hockey. And, of course, good old Mario back here skating around. Love you guys. Penguins will get this together. I promise you. I promise you they will get it together. Keep the faith. Hey, till then, I'll see you in the next one.